Yeah, very cool. What is the next big box to check for you personally in your roles, both as CEO partner at Flagship and at ProFound?
Yeah, for me, it's I have a short focus on proving that these molecules are going to make medicines, and
Yeah.
just like pushing these through. And I don't mean pushing them through no matter what. I mean like really doing the hard work of finding the ones that have the most promise for patients and most differentiation. And this is like we kind of have the whatever the expression is, the bull by the horns or something. Now we just have to wrestle it down, and
Mm.
it's going to be an exciting couple of years to see this progress. Because I joined, as I said at the outset, the vision is that this is not just cool science. Oh wow, how neat it is that there's more proteins. The box to check for me is that that's all true, and we got something over the hump, and it's really in patients and doing something important. That'll be outstanding,
Yeah, very
and I'm
good.
confident we're going to get there. It's just how
Yeah.
many.
I mean, like we ascertained from the outset of the conversation, that you're coming from a place historically in your career where, you played an active role in the effect of the therapies that you administered. You, moved on to development of therapies. There's little doubt that you would jump onto a project just for the fun of it at this point in your career, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's right. The
yeah,
Bayesian prior is low on that. Yeah.
yeah. What have I not asked you about the work you're doing there that I should have or would have if I were a better interviewer?
Well, I won't accept the premise about the better interviewer, but what might we what have we not covered? Let's put it that way. One thing, I'm just kind of looking out my office window and sort of could see some folks walking around. It's like a really cool place to work, and we've attracted some just amazing talent from like different quarters of the world, literally and figuratively,
Yeah,
because to do this, it's quite an interdisciplinary challenge where this computational biology, genetics, proteomics, biology, now even like clinical development. And it's not the standard roles that are in pharma to do this because it's a new kind of science, and the application of technology and computational biology and AI/ML to this is like a new way of approaching target selection. So, it's a really cool environment, and we've attracted really cool people, and that's been a lot of fun for me to see them starting to nourish their careers, and seeing them turn the corner from, oh, this is really cool, to, hey, this is really cool, and we're making medicines. So that's been
yeah,
fun, and it's a cool place to work.
yeah. I mean, I get that sense as I noted. I've interviewed several flagship CEO partners and CEOs of flagship companies, and and the computational angle is that's a common thread among I think pretty much all of them that I've spent time with, and it has raised the question in my mind that maybe you'd be interested in addressing it, and that's like there are dozens of flagship companies, and computational and AI and ML are integral to so many of their platforms. Uh, how do you like how is there uh differentiation from one to the next within these flagship pioneering companies that are using these computational
Yeah,
tools? And is there at any point risk of them all sort of doing the same thing? I know it's a maybe a simple and naive question, but
no,
it's one.
it's a good question. So a couple things. First off, there's a central group called Pioneering Intelligence, run by a really amazing leader, Armin Merkidjian, who has like it's a central group that's really about nurturing new technologies, new approaches, and being a central place that we can draw from in terms of expertise.
Mhm.
And that's really been great because, we meet with them and we get ideas about, oh, well, with your database, how come you're not doing X and Y? Oh, that's a really cool idea. How do we do it? Well, we did it over here. So maybe you could use that model, but you're applying it in a different way. And then it accelerates our ability to use the methodologies. So that's been great. But no, I think we're all doing computation, but it's actually fine if some of it is applied if the same methodologies are used, it's the substrate that's different.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a database of more than 1 trillion data points. It's like ridiculous, across like genomics, genetics, proteomics, gene regulation, et cetera, integrated in a single database. And with that size of data, it's really a fabulous substrate for doing like machine learning models that start to predict things.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're trying to predict is what's the function of this novel protein. Over here in another flagship company, they might use a similar model, but they're predicting something else. So the overlap isn't on the science and the outcome. The overlap is on the methodology, which is great. That's by design.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. That helps a lot. And in a sense, like I get the sense that even though, like you mentioned earlier, when you were at GSK and you had a question or needed some information, like there were a multitude of resources to turn to. This the Flagship Pioneering ecosystem kind of presents you with
yes,
the same concept, right? A whole lot of resources. I mean, you can pick up the phone or walk across the hall and
100%. It's one of the reasons I came. I probably left that out at the beginning. Yeah, it's kind of the best of both worlds. We're a company, ProFound Therapeutics, but we're nestled in this ecosystem where we call people and get help, and they're incentivized as well because we're largely owned by Flagship and as are the other ones. And then there's these central groups like Pioneering Intelligence, I mentioned Pioneering Medicine, that are specifically designed to help us be successful. So it really is the best of both worlds in that sense.
Yeah, very good. Well, Dr. Lepore, we're short on time, so I'm going to let you get on with your day. But this has been a fascinating conversation. This is one I say this when I'm like really intrigued by what comes next. I want to have you back on the show, like in 6 months, 8 months, a year down the road. Yeah, just for a catch up and to learn about progress, because it's such an exciting discovery and there's so much to be done with it. So hopefully you'll be agreeable to come back on and join us at a later date.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun for me. You could tell I love to talk about. I don't as much love to talk about myself. It's always challenging, but I love to talk about the science we're doing and how does it come together. And really appreciate your interest and your listenership's interest, and look forward to connecting.